Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adam. If you love luxury fashion, then you definitely love my channel. So make sure you like, subscribe, and check out my Instagram below for all of the latest updates. And today, let's get right into it. In today's video, we're actually doing a travel vlog to Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in Hollywood, California. Now, I'm really excited about this because originally, I wasn't sure this video would even make it here on my channel because there's a lot of exhibits that honestly are just hard to stomach. With all of that removed from the video, I actually have a lot of amazing content to share with you guys. They even had a giant Marilyn Monroe exhibit, and that's honestly what I'm most excited to show you because you know me, I love Marilyn Monroe. I love old Hollywood and the old Hollywood stars. So it was honestly just like such a cool video. So without any further ado, let's go to Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum and believe it or not, see what they have. We're currently on Hollywood Boulevard, right outside of the Jimmy Kimmel studio, and it's just so pretty, I must admit. However, Hollywood Boulevard is always so packed and so crowded. I am very happy that I'm not necessarily like a tourist anymore because like I never come to this area. However, for the purpose of this video and where I'm going today, of course, I'm going to show you there's a lot of cool like street vendors out on the street. Today we will be going to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, and that's a cute little building with a dinosaur on it. And the dinosaur is so cute, not only because he's a dinosaur, but he has his sunglasses and the rainbow flags, and it says power and pride. So, Ripley's Believe It or Not, definitely like a win for you for that. Now, the first item we see when we do go walk inside is this beautiful photo. But you would never imagine this photo is made out of these little beads. Just look how insane that is. Could you imagine the time, the work, and the effort it would take to actually create such a piece like this? We do also get to see the tallest man in the world. And it was actually really cute as well because in a second I do stand next to it. But before we get to that, we can see the cute little shark made out of all of these play cards. And the play cards is just so cute. Again, the time that all of this stuff takes to make would be like insane. Now we have a selfie of me in the mirror for the day. However, in this specific mirror, you're supposed to make faces because they have like all these weird faces on the screen that apparently nobody can make. Like your eyes pop out and your tongue goes out a certain distance. However, I was not making any of those faces because I knew I would fail miserably. Now we have the photo of me and the tallest man in the world, and it's just so cute. As you can see, I'm like 5'6", and he's just so tall compared to me. We do have this cute little boat as well. However, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like a replica of like the Titanic or something similar of it. But if you do know more about this specific piece, feel free to comment it down below. We're now leaving the entry level and walking downstairs, and the first thing we do get to see is Jimi Hendrix. But it's actually made out of guitar picks, which is actually really cool. Now, looking at these guitar picks, it's just so insane because, like, how do you even start a project like this? Like, let's make a picture out of this. And it's just such like a high level of creativity that's involved. Even with this Marilyn Monroe one, absolutely so impressive. Now, personally, it looks like peanut butter to me, so that does kind of throw me off, but it's actually like beads, like really small beads. And because of that, it's just so beautiful. However, next to it, we do have Frank Sinatra as well, which is actually made from Rubik's Cubes to be specific, and there's just so many Rubik's Cubes. However, there is a Liz Taylor one that I absolutely love because it's made out of post stamps. Look how cute that is, because even like the background, they have all of the small details of the post-its. So how beautiful is that? Like this one, I think so far out of the portraits, this is my favorite. Once we get downstairs, they do have a gun range, which is really fun because, you can go ahead and like shoot all like the zombie targets and whatnot, which of course, Donnie absolutely had to participate, and he actually did really good. He got mainly all of them besides like one or two. I think it was like the top right corner. There's like a rat next to like the wolf hat that moved. He didn't get that one. But all the other ones, yes, he slayed at this game. Speaking of slaying, we do have this protective armor that they actually used in the native in like New Guinea. So how crazy is that? Just like, could you imagine actually seeing like armor from like way back in the day? They even had one for their dogs. Now this is a German dog armor, and it was used in the 17th century, specifically from the Wartburg Castle in Germany. Could you imagine your dog wearing that? Something that terrified me was this mask from a tribe, and this one is just so terrifying to me because that is the Congo dagger and the Daga del Congo, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just so creepy, like the daggers behind him. However, this is technically a real cannibal skull. And isn't that just like terrifying? There's a movie called The Green Inferno, and it's about like a lost tribe in the middle of the Amazon. And it's honestly the most effed up movie I have ever seen. I cannot even watch the whole thing without getting sick most of the time. And seeing a skull like this just truly terrifies me because of that movie. Now, they did have a lot of like very unsettling stuff at this exhibit as well, which I am not going to show, but I will show you this one small clip from this specific segment because right here we can see a giant hippo skull, which is actually pretty cool because you just don't really necessarily think like how big a hippo is, let alone its skull. We can see the giant ankle skull as well with the giant horns. And the skulls themselves are actually kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. However, the giant man-eating clam, that's actually really, really cool. I would love to have that in like my foyer. So when you walk in, you can put your keys on it and like your purse and everything. And that would just be such a beautiful decorative piece. But the fact that it says man eating, I'm like, like, does it actually try to eat people or what? Okay, so I am reading this right now. It says it does not eat people, but the clam does grow big enough to trap a man's arm or leg. However, it won't eat you. But that's like very, very scary to like know still. They did have these two skeletons of, I think it's a saber-toothed tiger, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's a saber-toothed tiger. Prehistoric, very, very cool because again, like seeing an animal that is just no longer here and seeing the remains of it, it's cool because it's like, whoa, it was actually real. Like, believe it or not, it was real. Now we actually do have some ostrich eggs as well, which they're honestly gigantic. This one's technically the largest ostrich egg. However, it kind of makes me sad because I'm like, oh, the little guy was never born. Is he's like still chilling in there, like waiting to be born or like what? Now for the fashion of it all, we literally have a toilet paper dress. However, how they made the toilet paper so fabulous, I'm not sure because look at the roses on it. Like, how in the world do you make a toilet paper with a rose on it? I know technically Chanel has Chanel branded toilet paper in their bathrooms. However, for like an actual dress, this puts so much hard work and effort into it. But I must say, it's probably very flammable. We do have this beautiful life-size statue of Darth Vader. Now, I'm actually curious, was he used in an actual movie or was he just some type of a display piece? He's very, very large, but we do have C3PO and R2D2. And it's just so cute. Look at little R2D2. Now, personally, I like R2D2 when he's painted white and blue. And I swear I remember a C3PO where he had a silver leg. However, some people say that's like a Mandela effect, that like C3PO was always silver or he was always gold or something about like a silver leg. But I remember him being half silver, half gold. Comment down your thoughts on this. Now I have Donnie looking just so adorable with his husband Darth Vader, but there's also this cute little guy as well protecting them. And I forgot his name, but I know he's actually one of my favorites from the movies, though he does kind of look like Jar Jar Binks in a way because of his like long face. So, really cute. Now we have the playroom where Donnie can show off his amazing drawing skills and his amazing art pieces. So originally I thought that was supposed to be me, but it wasn't me. That's actually him. So, at least that's him and not me. However, now we can take a look at him. And I was so confused because I was like, how are you drawing on the wall? Because I was trying, but I didn't realize that you needed a light to do it. However, I actually had one of these things when I was a kid, and I would play with it all the time with the light. So now, it makes sense, and I actually remember it. But it was actually really nice because it brought up, that childhood memory of like my brother and I, we would always be playing with these like little things like this in our room. And it was just always so cute. However, let's see who he's making. Okay, so it looks like an alien. Oh, nope. I think we have Squidward now. Is that Squidward? Oh, nope. Squidward does not have hair. And then his hands. Okay, so this looks like an alien Squidward, but the alien Squidward has a heart, so that's so cute. But he's also human, so I guess there's that too. But so cute, so fun, absolutely loved it. Time of my life. Now, everybody was amazed because there's this gate, and the gate's open, but how do you know it opened? I couldn't get it, but Donnie actually figured it out like right away. So the part I'm pulling right here, you pull upwards. However, it's so heavy, I need two hands, so I can't show you in the video, but if you do pull this up with two hands, it pops open and the gate opens. However, they did have a chair of love as well, which was the perfect photo opportunity for me and my brand new Labubu, and it was just so cute and precious, so love it all. However, of course, there was a paparazzi wall, which I had to indulge and take a picture of, just because, how could I not? Probably my favorite thing that I did see in here is this right here. Now, this castle is built out of matchsticks. And the time and effort it took to make this is just way insane. This looks like Disney Channel to me. Like, this looks like a beautiful Disney movie. And I could just picture like Mickey Mouse and princesses and just all of these cute little animated characters just coming out of this and coming alive. And honestly, like, this is so impressive. I'm like, honestly, I am truly impressed by this. 420,000 matchsticks and 24,000 domino-sized wooden blocks, 10 gallons of wood glue, and this was actually created by a man named Patrick. And, congrats, Patrick, because this is, like, absolutely amazing. Now, we did have a cute little Betty Boop section as well, which Betty Boop was such a huge icon for my grandmother. So, because of that, there's a huge sentimental meaning between me and Betty Boop. So I absolutely love that. However, now we have the portrait of the Hollywood stars, and we can see so many icons. We can see Lucille Ball, Marilyn Monroe, and honestly, countless others that are just, gems to the town. Even Audrey Hepburn up there. We do have this gorgeous picture of Superman as well, which is actually made out of pop cans. And to be honest, I love that fact. And the quality of it is so good. Like, look at the vibrant blue behind him. That's beautiful. And then Donnie was so happy because Donnie loves Superman. He loves the Kent Clark version of it. And this is the original costume. So the original costume, it's honestly just one of a kind. Super revealing though, because the material is just so thin. However, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And look at it. I love it. He was so happy about it. And he even got to see the superhero logo on the back of the cape. Now, I was impressed with a couple of these statues because, of course, we have the Hulk right here, we have the Terminator there, but the Spider-Man down below. If you remember my very first ever driving to California vlog, you know that I did see him. He is featured at the end of the video. Now, the video has no sound for like copyright reasons and whatnot. However, it's just such a good video. So if you want to go have fun, go and check it out because it's such a great video. However, we do have Austin Schwarzenegger, and he is just so detailed. So I wonder if this was actually like part of a movie. Maybe it wasn't part of a movie. I'm not entirely sure if it was just a prop or what. But very impressive. Look at the detail on his face. Right here we have Sex in the City, but this is actually a picture. But the writing on the actual dress is an actual script. So could you imagine having to read your script, but you have to have a magnifying glass to read it? Also really cool was the King Kong torch. So if you've seen the original King Kong in black and white, this was the original torch for the movie. And old Hollywood, I love old Hollywood. So souvenirs like this is like just so cool to see. However, the best thing in this entire place was the Marilyn Monroe exhibit. Now, this specific dress was supposed to be here, but because Kim Kardashian wore it, it's not here right now. However, I do have an old vlog that I will be posting from a Hollywood museum, and in it, we get to go to Marilyn Monroe's dressing room. And in that vlog, I do have the actual pictures and videos of the dress from years before Kim even touched it. So that's going to be such a cool fact. However, they did have the top of her dress as here, as long with like the fake fur, and it's just so cute. They even had Kim's shoes from the Met Gala. But comment down below. For in all honesty, I'm just so happy for Kim. I'm happy she got to wear it, make her dream come true. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I mean, it's honestly like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So just be happy for Kim because who else was able to wear this? Here we do have the Marilyn Monroe pearl teaspoons as well, which is just so cute because we all love Marilyn, so just looking at everything that she used to own, it's honestly just fantastic. I personally think they should turn her Brentwood house into a museum because that would be like just so iconic and legendary. However, I drove there to go film it, and it's impossible to get into because it's in a private neighborhood. However, Ripley's, believe it or not, did have her famous sweatshirt as well. And this was just so iconic to see. Now, in person, this looks so thick. It looks so heavy. You could see the wool and the cashmere blend of it, all of the fabric and the fibers. It looks so comfortable, and you could just tell she definitely like cozied up in it. She even had one of her polka dotted bikinis, which is just so cute and so iconic for Marilyn. Even her polka dotted dress. How adorable is that? Now, this made me really happy because this was her everyday makeup. And everyone says 3 hours is so long to get ready. However, but when I was like 14 to like 21, it always took me 3 hours to get ready. Now it takes me like 40 minutes tops, but we can see all of her gorgeous makeup stuff. And right here, it's the list of all of her products. So I am aware that she did use a lot of Max Factor items, but there's just so many things listed down here. So, go ahead, pause it, check it out. And it's just so fabulous. We do have some more iconic Marilyn Monroe looks, as long as her footprints as well. And it's just so cute. Could you imagine being Marilyn and just like living forever through all of her like stuff and in showcases? To be honest, I'm just so happy because she always wanted to be a star, and to be honest, she really did become the biggest star in the entire world. Ripley's, believe it or not, they actually did have her actual hair as well. Now, I know you may be thinking, okay, this is a little bit weird to be filming and seeing. However, it's just very unique and iconic. And Kim Kardashian did also say that she did take a strand of her hair and did like this whole like ritual type thing to really like embody Marilyn on the Met Gala red carpet. So maybe there's something to it. We even have a copy of her birth certificate where it says Norma Jean. And it's just so gorgeous and just like, it's just such a piece of Hollywood history. Now, before we are going to be leaving, we are going to two more sections. The first is this tribal section, which is actually a little unsettling when you actually go into it. Part of it's fun because it reminds you of like Scooby-Doo Spooky Island, but there's a lot of really weird artifacts here that to me just unsettle me. Okay, so one, right now we have the fetish god pond, where it says like doctors would use like this to do like painful and physical stuff to people. So that was very, very interesting. But this is the stuff that scares me, like the cannibal skulls. Look how scary that is. Just like I understand that people grow up into tribes and it's all they know. It's just imagine any of these people finding like actual civilization and like seeing phones and stuff. And to me, again, I'm terrified because of the movie The Green Inferno. So go watch that movie. However, speaking of movies, the mask right here also reminds me of Mask, like the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey. Does this not look like it? Next, we have David Bowie portrait, but this is made out of broken records, which is honestly so cool when you think about it. Very, very dangerous to make it, but very, very cool. I love it. Now we have this giant yak, which I have to say, a yakety yak, don't come back. So if you know what that's from, comment down below, because I think it was from a like Cartoon Network show, if I'm not mistaken, but it was so long ago. Then, of course, last but not least, we have Godzilla. So Godzilla is so cute. He's like this like 8 foot tall statue as soon as you walk in. And you honestly cannot miss him, but he's so adorable. After Ripley's, we did go to Burbank. We went to the movies, but in Burbank, we did see this super cute painting of SpongeBob, and this was just so cute. However, I did get like 20 Labubus at a Labubu stand. Okay, well, technically, Donnie surprised me and got me all of them, but it was so cute because I got so many, which I will be doing unboxings of soon. But now we are leaving Burbank, headed back home, and it's just so nice. However, before we did go back home, we did stop in Pasadena where I did take one of my Labubus out in my Prada outfit. And, we had a really nice day where we had coffee and sandwiches. And this specific day, we actually went to the Pee Wee Herman house and even the Freddy Krueger house, which are both videos that will be coming up soon. So with everything we've seen in this video, obviously, again, I have to say that the Marilyn Monroe exhibit is honestly my favorite. I actually have a lot more upcoming Marilyn Monroe vlogs, including where we go to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and then the cemetery where she's buried at. I did technically go to her Brentwood house, but the gate was closed, so you honestly couldn't see a thing unless I decided to climb the gate, which I did not want to do. But I do have a lot of very, very amazing Marilyn Monroe videos to show you in my upcoming videos, so stay tuned for that. But comment down below, what was your favorite part of this museum? And what is one thing that you just couldn't believe that was made? So for me, I would have to say the thing I couldn't believe that was made would be the giant castle with the matchbooks, because that it's just so much work. It's so huge. It's so gigantic. But also the toilet paper dress. Like, how in the world did that even get put together? Was it with glue? Was it with tape? Was it with like sewing? Probably glue, I would imagine. But again, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on this video. But again, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. And you, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Au revoir.